Everyone stood up and drew their weapons. Acero turned and looked at them. "So, you're gonna kill me? What good is that gonna do?" he asked.
I think if we've learned anything, it's that we as teachers and students together, we need to constantly be pushing the envelope and exposing ourselves to new ways of looking at things and looking at the world. Systems thinking really effectively did that for us because it really opened our eyes to looking at different elements that may have seemed disconnected that were actually more connected.
When we went to that in-service, it didn't make sense to a lot of people.
My initial impression, like, you want us to try to do what now? Yeah, square peg, round hole. That's how it very much felt that way in the beginning.
We were a lot more hands-off than we thought we were going to be, which was an adjustment at first.
The first couple days were rough because I was all about like the big picture and the end result, and Robert's like, let it happen. There's like, but you want something from them, right? He's like, well, yeah. I'm like, then what is it? Like, I'm a planner, and
First I was like, I hate this. I wish they would just like
Give
like
us
yeah.
something to.
But in the end, it helped us so much. I think that was really helpful. So.
It's not a disconnected process that happens in a fragmented way in an English classroom. It's really something that fuels a lot of different other things and other types of work that they may not expect it to fuel.
It was kind of amazing how that lent itself to writing and just working together collectively. I think what was good about it, whether it's attached to a writing class or whatever else, is it really did help build the community in a kind of weird way. Like, we never played a game or did an activity. We just kind of threw them in and said, do this, and they had to get to know each other, figure each other out, rely on each other, or this never would have progressed. And as they invested in the story, they had to do all those things even more.
We'll have to like keep this.
And even the kids who were not really consistent while they were here, like, we had to really push them to finish stuff, bought into that.
yeah,
Like, even if they didn't do anything else, they came, like the one day they said bring their chapters, everyone had it. And like, that doesn't happen in classrooms, you know, where everyone had, oh, mine's still, I'm still working on mine. We didn't have any of that. They were done, every single one of them, because they relied on one another to have, and they did it all on their own. They spent very little time in the camp working on the story, other than some fine tuning and just discussing. The writing never happened in class. So that was all on their own. It's because they built a community for themselves. It worked out really well in the end, because it naturally transitioned where they stopped coming to Mr. Davis, because they all wanted to talk to him at first, and then they finally kind of started wanting to talk to us if they wanted to talk to us. And then they stopped talking to us altogether and just talked to each other. So we were just, you know, there if they needed us.
I definitely learned how to work better with people.
I feel like it sounds awkward because I would never say, oh my god, she has me pinned to the ground, like if I was describing something.
Yeah, like I naturally did past tense too, but like, so should I just change it back to past tense?
I kind of feel like everybody else did past tense.
And they were different. 9 through 12, every spectrum of the personalities, they all just accepted each other for what their strengths were, and they learned to work together.
I don't know. It was easier for me to learn how to collaborate with these people on my own instead of them being like, okay, guys, you need to be understanding.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, like, that's a valuable lesson too.
Yeah.
To that I think sometimes as teachers, and this is the struggle we probably had at the beginning, is that it's like your domain and you feel like you have to be the one who navigates everything, and maybe we don't give the kids enough credit that they can kind of do some of those things on their own, and they're probably going to buy into it a little bit more when they have that control. And that's probably something we could take back to the way that we have a classroom dynamic.
You learned more about writing through writing that you enjoy.
Maybe on how to start a story, begin with the end in mind. That's one that I would take now.
That was a very valuable lesson. You know, great lesson from the whole thing for me as a teacher is sometimes you have these ideas and you just got to try them and just have faith and let kids drive the ship a little bit and see what happens. And sometimes you get great results like we did with this. You know, focus on their own writing, their own work, but this model helped them, you know, learn from each other and come together, as well as collaborating on this big story, but also learning from that experience and bringing that into their own writing. So I thought that was amazing because we didn't tell them to do that. They wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think we're really proud of them and astonished that it happened. I can't believe that they did what they did.
Yeah.
Calm down. We need to find a way into the temple. Levin will take care of Sarah, but in the meantime, our main priority is to find the medicine and leave.
Yesterday when we surveyed them, so many of them were resistant to the idea of speaking. I don't want to share my work. And yet every single person today took that on, and they chose that.
They find me. If they do, I'll already be dead.
The end.
But going back, my advice would be definitely sit down and try to design writing-focused lessons using that systems design, because it really is a powerful model and it really does work well with the workshop.